Now, this is arguably the best time of the year in this part of the country, and we want to take advantage of every riding day we possibly can. And no better way to get out on the open road than with our 40-year-old GS1100. And this bike I've had since new. It's got over 75,000 miles. I've enjoyed every one of them. I have two of these. One is a parts bike, but I do have a lot of spare parts. I have a whole set of bodywork that in a very short amount of time, I can change it into a West Cooley bike. I have an extra seat for the bike. I have extra sets of wheels. So it's just an entertaining bike. It's an evil twin. It's just the most entertaining bike that I have ever had. And what's great about it, it does a lot of things well. And one of the things it has is an unbelievably good power band. And I'm going to try to focus in on this at some point in this video. But a little surprise, a little preview of what's coming up on the next question and answer. This is from John Pryor. He sent me some pictures and a very short video here, like a little sneak peek. 14 years, this is his parts bike. He has two of these, and we're going to get into this on the next question and answer, and how unique this bike is in all the world. It's an interesting story from John Pryor. Now, what could be better than this? Fall weather, we have a beautiful GS Suzuki, only 40 years old, a little over 75,000 miles on it, but it's going to go out on the open road today, and we're going to roll that odometer up some. What I always notice is people that still have GSs, and a lot of them have had them, just like I have, since they're new. Nobody ever wants to sell them. You almost never see them out on the open market. Now, I've always had a habit, basically for my whole life. When I go out on the open road, I'm going to be far from home. It's going to be very inconvenient if something falls off the bike or doesn't work exactly as planned. I like to have a clean bike. Everybody knows that. I even like the back wheel clean. Now, it's just personal to me. I always check the air in the tires. If I'm far from home and a tire goes to 10 pounds, I'm having a problem. Not a lot of gas stations out in that area where I ride. So it's cheap insurance checking a tire, and it always lets you know if you've picked up a nail the night before, the day before, or a week before, because the tire will be losing air very slowly. So it's cheap insurance, and I like having insurance. Now, I got some white diamond. I've reviewed this on the channel already. It's excellent for a lot of things. And on a day like today, I just thought I'd spend a little time polishing this up, getting it cleaned up as best I could. I'm going to be out on the open road for a good part of this day, and I almost always see other people on bikes or stop at some of the places where the bikers hang out. And I like having a clean bike. It's as simple as that. And this bike, because it's 40 years old, it has a lot of the traditional aluminum parts that from that era of motorcycle where you could see the engine. The engine is one of the parts you focus on when you look at it. And to me, I always say it, this is one of the most attractive bikes I've ever seen. Now, keeping all the raw aluminum parts of this bike polished and clean, it's always a labor of love. But all of the bikes of this era had virtually no flat black parts, or very few. And everything, when you went to clean the bike, everything was shiny, everything was polished. Oh, and I've added to that by polishing some of the parts that were black, and like painting the wheels. But all of the custom little touches that I've done, it's just something, it works for me. I get a lot of enjoyment out of cleaning up a motorcycle. Some people don't care at all. And we could still be friends. I'm not judgmental about it. If you want to ride a bike that's never been cleaned, that's perfectly okay too. But this is something I enjoy. And there's so many aspects of my life I don't have any control over. But the motorcycle I ride, I can keep it as clean as I can and keep it good maintenance and constantly checking that nothing's loose or falling off, and do my own custom touches to my own taste. And over 40 years, I have done a lot of everything, a lot of polishing, a lot of cleaning, a lot of maintenance, and the end result is, here it is 40 years after I bought the bike new, and I still get up in the morning and can't wait to go out on the open road.
Okay guys, no hogging up all the seeds. No hogging the seeds.
Okay, who wants to go riding on the GS today? Come on guys, it's a 40-year-old bike, only 75,000 miles. Come on guys. Now Rosh Hashanah is coming. Ooh. And you think that's all there is? She's got 2 of them going. 2 briskets, baby.
And so we have leftovers.
Will they be done when I get back from the ride?
Nope.
Nope. Now, thank you, Joe Padula, for donating the steel brake lines, and Pokey for donating the EBC discs. That made a nice upgrade on this bike, and it was long overdue after 40 years. And every day I get to enjoy the fruit of my labor, and I get to enjoy some good quality braking. Now, whenever you talk to other GS owners, the first thing comes up is how much everybody loves this engine. And the biggest factor of the engine that I think is worth mentioning is that great power band. They've got the power in a very linear manner. Suzuki did it right. Now, the other bike in my collection that has similar, really excellent low-end torque and a smooth linear power band is the MT-09. And you don't have to be in any special gear like you do with any of the high RPM engines. You just put it in a gear and open it up anytime you want. Now, anybody that's been racing for a long time or riding on the street a long time, after a lot of years go by, you realize how important it is to have that throttle response, that linear opening of the throttle where it's very predictable and easy to control. Now, if you've ever ridden a bike that isn't jetted correctly or has flat spots, or it's peaky and you're always afraid it's going to do a wheelie or get the front end light in a corner, then you jump on this bike and you go, man, did Suzuki ever get it right? And it's not that easy to do, but they got it right. And this bike can spoil you in a hurry. I've gone out with other people and switched bikes, and an hour later, I'm wishing I had my GS back. And that's true of many, many motorcycles. And it just has that great power band. So hard to describe. Now this bike has an 86 exhaust, which you need to make a bracket for the back if you adapt one in. And I do have the stock exhaust. I have 2 examples of the stock exhaust and 1 extra set that I made of carbon fiber mufflers. But this exhaust has the nicest rumble of them all. And I know lots of friends have done modifications to these bikes, 4-into-1 pipes, big bore kits, all kinds of porting and polishing, every possible thing you can do. And the engines at the end of it, they are just bulletproof. Absolutely a bulletproof engine. Now all the bikes from this era came from the factory jetted relatively lean for pollution purposes. And one of the side benefits of if you don't disturb that and if you don't fool around with it and put jet kits in and everything, you wind up getting about 44 to 45 miles a gallon. And that's really, really nice. And that engine, whether you ride the bike like a Goldwing and you're touring and looking at the scenery, or if you're chasing down a bunch of sport bikes, or maybe they're chasing you at some point in time. A bike, it was way ahead of its time in a lot of ways, but that power band, you never forget that once you've experienced it. And there's a lot of bikes I know, even bikes I have, that if you ride for an hour or two, they're fun. But this bike, you could get on this bike and be on it all day and have fun. And so many people I've met out on the open road, or I've met at meetups, or on the channel. And the one thing they have in common, oh, I'm so sorry I sold my GS. And they traded it in or whatever, try to upgrade. And yet 40 years ago, Suzuki got a lot of this right. Now when Joe Padula when we were out riding our 2 GSs and cruising around, it was like a throwback in time. I came back from that ride and my head was spinning. I was just thinking, wow, what a trip back in time. I've had a lot of people comment they don't like the styling of modern bikes. You can't see the engine and everything's flat black and plastic and whatever. What the bikes look like ducks or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, this bike, I think the styling is the best of all time. And I've heard people say, "Oh, you can't keep up with me on my $20,000 modern sport bike with all the electronics and everything." And what I say is, maybe I don't have to because I'm having so much fun on this bike. And the suspension on this bike was great in its day, and it's still very useful right now. And I've loved the Michelin Commander tires that I hope they keep making them forever. I hope they don't start discontinuing them. They've been hard to get the last set. But anyway, all the tires are. They seem to work out very well, even on these really twisty, slippery roads I ride on. And I think Suzuki got that power band, considering it's a 40-year-old thing, they got it so good, and they even met the government regulations. And I know for people that want to hot rod up the engine and put jet kits in and everything, if that entertains you, but to me, the power band, just the way it came from Suzuki, that is really hard not to like. And it's funny to me how many people that used to want to make drag bikes out of these and put struts on them and wheelie bars and everything, but every one of those drag races, the one thing they wanted was that engine. That's the engine. No matter what you do to it, it's bulletproof. Now, another thing I really appreciate, when they designed this bike, I don't think at that era, they were using computers to do a whole lot. I don't even know that they used them at all 40 years ago. I don't know. They certainly, if they did have any modern stuff, it's not like what they have today, but they still managed to make a classic motorcycle. And I don't think that styling is ever going to go out of style. They got that right. And that power band and getting it tuned exactly the way they did, the exhaust tuning, the intake tuning, the fact that you don't have shims under the valves and make you crazy when you have to adjust the valves, just a great design. And I'm always thankful that I lived in a time I did when these bikes ruled the world and they had their day in the sun, and boy, everybody I know, almost everybody had one. And it's so good to see some of them have survived. And I'm so happy I have had this bike now 40 plus years, and so happy I got the parts bike, and thank you, Ray, for helping me out getting that parts bike from Philadelphia. And all the good times I've had on this bike, it's like I could go on for hours telling stories about rides I've been on. But like every day I get it to ride, and I do try to ride every day, it's time to get the bike turned around and head back to the farm and see what Karen's got going on at the house. What a great day. Well, we just took advantage of just a beautiful fall day today. Believe me, every day you can get out on this guy for a couple hours, 2-3 hours. Your day is made. Your day is good. It's good to be alive. Anyway, we are coming up into that part of the year where the fall, where the leaves are going to be changing, and I'm so excited. I always try to take some extra pictures, and you can see, and today we already see Halloween decorations are out, get us in the mood for fall and Thanksgiving. It's going to be a great time of year, and that hot summer is behind us, hopefully behind us. And I am really looking forward to the best fall ever. So I hope you did enjoy the video. We try to post something up every day if you're new to the channel. In this video we try to tell it how we really feel about our GS. But it's hard not to like this bike. It's an uncanny thing. And this is Dallas's bike. And even people that have them for a long time find it hard to part with them. And then the people that do part with them, they're sorry they parted with them. And now Joe got this one back. He's done a great job restoring it. We went out on the two of them, had a great video, a separate GS video. And it's just a really nice piece of machinery. And I am so thankful that I never sold mine. So glad. And for all the people that have a passion for restoring these older motorcycles and riding them, and not just riding them, ride the wheels off them. Let's just ride around a block and park it in a bar and look at it. I want to go on rides. I want to see tires wear out. I want to have to do oil changes. I'm laughing, but it's true. I don't have any interest in collecting bikes I can't ride the wheels off. And every one of the bikes in this collection, we've worn out the tires, and we've done the maintenance, and we've learned a lot, shared a lot. I try to share a lot on the channel with my friends, and for the people that enjoy this and they can enjoy being on a ride with us and do our little family stuff, hey, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to go on the rides, and I'm happy to do the editing, and I'm happy to share the videos. Thanks so much for watching.